Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Your Jazz Show. Today we are delighted to have the Ray Chang Trio, which consists of Ray Chang, Mike Raynor, and Chris Robertson, a combination of trumpet, bass, and drums. Very unique sound, and they are here on the Central Coast playing at the Inn at Morro Bay every Saturday night from 7 to 10. And they also will have an interesting interview just coming up. So sit back, relax, enjoy another version of Your Jazz Show, and please keep jazz in the mind for the future. Your Jazz Show is made possible by the following underwriters. The first tune by the Ray Chang Trio will be Sandu by the Clifford Brown. This next tune is an original called Holiday Trip by Ray Chang. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Your Jazz Show. I'm delighted to be joined with the Ray Chang Trio on this particular session. This includes trumpet, bass, and drums, and Ray Chang is the trumpet player, Mike Raynor, the drummer, Chris Robertson on bass. And it's kind of an interesting combination, and these guys are here today to tell me how they got together, how they've gotten the sound, and where they're going to be able to be seen, and also even a recording they have. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mr. Ray Chang over here on my right. He plays trumpet and the leader of the group, the Ray Chang Trio. So Ray, regarding this particular group, how did you first get together?
A couple years ago, we got this gig in Atascadero and called up Mike and I said, hey, I need a bass player. I got this gig and didn't really know any bass players at the time, and he said, oh, I got somebody, and I called up Chris, and there you go. We just started playing this small little place called the Village Cafe in Atascadero, and you know, we had to be quiet, so for us to, you know, keep the gig, you know, Mike had to start on the brushes, and you know, Chris got his electrical bass and started experimenting with some mutes and stuff, and it kind of went together. It kind of came together from that gig.
Well, that's great. We'll get back to the instrumentation regarding your mutes in a minute, but well, let me introduce the other guys here. Mr. Chris Robertson on bass, and tell us a little bit about your background, Chris.
Well, I came down here originally to go to school at Cal Poly, and kind of, you know, got involved in the music scene and played music, and music has been a part of my life for a long time now, and just sort of been in the area playing with local groups, and I had an interest in jazz at some point in time, and have sort of slowly been working at becoming involved in that music, and now, like what Ray said, I had an opportunity to play some jazz with a small quartet group or trio type group, and that was nice to begin that process of playing out and working on these standard tunes and playing them and reinventing them in different ways. Playing in and I had done some time playing with other groups in the area, blues groups, and the Noodles was a group that I played with, in R&B type, you know, Caribbean flavored, you know, group that I played with also, and learned a lot about music and playing, kind of thing, and you know, just sort of evolved.
So when you then you were playing kind of like a rock and funk, and also now this opportunity to play jazz opened up a whole new door, and you could kind of work on a new style, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
So yeah, it has been.
Well, and then you know, playing softly is different than most groups play also, and an acoustic level to match the trumpet mute is quite a challenge, at least for a drummer. And for yourself, I know, you know, that can also be an issue in the band to try to make it balanced, and you guys balance very well.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to create a full sound without it being without it being overwhelming, or you know, just trying to make it rich.
Yeah.
And it is a different challenge also without a chord player in the group, since I'm so Ray and I, you know, playing off each other, and Mike's participation as a drummer is different than if there. It seemed when we play with chord players in the group, the personality of the group makes an adjustment. But the trio setting is definitely has a flavor that's kind of a gas.
Yeah. Well, very unique. And Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you fit in with this regarding, you know, your choice of either brushes or sticks, or how that goes.
Well, I've been playing jazz for about 6 years, and just kind of been learning pretty much on the bandstand and starting different groups and just throwing myself out there. And how I fit in, I think it's cool that I'm able to experiment with different textures, such as the mallets, and playing rhythms with the mallets or brushes, and maybe trying to play more melodic opposed to just rhythmic.
Yes.
Using different textures also as well, cymbals and
I noticed you played with your hands too.
hands and right. Just whatever. Sometimes we'll pick up just like a glass and play that. I'll do a solo on maybe just a glass, or we'll snap our fingers, and I don't know. We just try to mix it up and
Yeah.
to just create different textures, pretty much.
That's great. So regarding this particular combination, Ray, let's bring this back to you. Where have you played for the last, after the Village in Atascadero, aren't you playing at the Inn at Morro Bay now?
Yes, we're playing at the Inn at Morro Bay every Saturday night, 7 to 10. And we've been playing there for about
2 years.
About 2 years.
Wonderful.
And yeah, it's a great gig. It's a fun place to go and have some dinner, bring some family out, or just and a date or whatever, or just kick back some drinks and listen to us play. It's really cool. It's a nice place.
All right. So the Inn at Morro Bay, 7 to 10 on Saturday nights. And I also happen to have a CD that they have produced. It's called Treble, Bass, and Drums. And this is the Ray Chang Trio. A really well-recorded album. And it happens to be recorded at Chris Robertson's recording studio called Blue Universe. So, Chris, can you just briefly tell us how long this took and how were you able to play at the same time recording it?
Let's see. Well, we started recording kind of casually, just documenting ideas, and so it wasn't like we went in with a set of dates and said we're going to make an album in this 3 recording sessions. We just went in there and recorded every month about one night, and we would get a cut out of the night, out of playing maybe several different pieces of music, and then we collected that together and assembled that album there. So.
Yeah, this is a collection of standards as well as some Ray Chang originals, right?
Yes.
And we have heard some originals in today's program. A couple of them here are Holiday Trip and 3/4 Spill. You want to elaborate on any of those titles?
Oh, not exactly. I just popped out. Holiday Trip. It kind of came around my just vacation. I took my wife, and this song has nothing to do with the vacation or anything, but it just I don't know. I just thought of that, and when I was writing the song, I said, "Oh heck, Holiday Trip." Kind of started out as Trip, because it was kind of I started writing it out. It was kind of trippy. I didn't have any chord progressions or anything set, so I just took it in with to Chris, and we kind of hashed it out, and I guess I gave it some flavor, putting Holiday in there or something like that. And 3/4 Spill, well, it's just what it is. 3/4 Spill. It's just
it's in three-quarter time.
It's in 3/4. That's pretty
Okay.
much that's pretty much it. So.
All right. Well, that's kind of an awkward question. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
Always put on the spot.
So regarding the future gigs, actually, in this, where can people pick up this CD? By the way, this is called Treble, Bass, and Drums: The Ray Chang Trio.
You can pick it up at the Inn at Morro Bay.
On Saturday nights, you can go to the Inn at Morro Bay,
and I don't know if I guess Boo Boo still they still provide that.
It's in Boo Records.
Boo Boo Records, who's actually an underwriter of this program, who we very much appreciate, local record store.
All right. Yes, we do.
We have a local CD section there, and the Ray Chang Trio will also be there. So, on behalf of Chris Robertson on bass, Mr. Mike Raynor on drums, Ray Chang, leader and trumpet player, we thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Darrell.
Thank you, Darrell. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and we'll look forward to your next program. The next tune the Ray Chang Trio will play is called Softly as Morning Sunrise.